A dip in the blue of the Aeolian Islands. Where they are, what to see and what to do. The islands fall within the Aeolian Arc area, located in the southern Tyrrhenian Sea, north of the Sicilian coast, and are part of the metropolitan city of Messina. Aeolian Islands, how many are there? The Aeolian archipelago, formed of 7 islands, is of volcanic origin and owes its name to the god of wind, Aeolus, who has always reigned supreme here, together with Vulcan, the god of fire. Elements that have forged the beauty, sometimes harsh, sometimes gentle, of these islands, beloved by great directors and actors, such as Roberto Rossellini, Anna Magnani, and Massimo Troisi, and frequented by the international jet set. VIPs go crazy in Panarea, amid the glow of the summer sky and the thunder of the discos. On Vulcano, on the other hand, tourists crowd around the pool of miraculous mud, exhaust themselves on excursions to the crater, and then cool off with bathing in the western black sand bay. In the main town, and main island by size, Lipari, the villas of millionaires rest secluded in the greenery, while in front of the white pumice beaches large cruise ships moor. The tour of this island is not to be missed, especially at sunset, when the cliffs are enveloped in the last rays of the sun. On Stromboli, one breathes in the lit tranquility of the views and backdrops, and looks upward in the direction of the volcano. In tiny Filicudi, intellectuals and politicians mingle with residents, waiting for a visit to the Grotta del Bu Marino, while in Salina forests of Mediterranean flora, unobtainable elsewhere, cover the 2 extinct volcanoes that earned the name Didimi, or twins. Finally, in the wildest and most remote Alicudi, the peace of silence triumphs, broken only by the lapping of the waves. Aeolian Islands, what to see in Lipari. Lipari is the capital of the Aeolian Islands and the seat of the municipality of Lipari, which also includes the other islands of the archipelago, except Salina, whose territory is divided instead into no less than 3 municipalities: Santa Marina, Salina, Malfa, and Leni. In antiquity it was already known by the name Lipara, but also by the name Mylagonide or Melagonide. Archaeological excavations within the walls of the castle, called Civita, the fortified citadel, show how the first settlements on this acropolis date back as far as 5,000 years. Over the millennia, it was used by all the peoples who settled in the area, from the Ausonians to the Greeks, the Romans to the Normans, and the Spanish. Now, however, it is taken by storm by tourists who admire, as they disembark from the ship, the Porto Sotto Monastero, in the Bay of Marina Lunga. From here, one can take the ascent of Vico Melagunis and arrive on Mazzini Square, always verdant with its Ficus marini. On the left, overlooking the ship's harbor, is the old Franciscan convent and, right next to it, the Church of St. Anthony, which houses 2 canvases by Giovanni Taccari. Also on the square, clinging to the cliff overlooking the sea, hides the Tourmalin, the island's only discotheque. Continuing on, along the ascent to the castle, you reach the fortified fortress, and defended by Spanish walls. No less than 5 churches, including the cathedral, the theater, the not-to-be-missed Aeolian Archaeological Museum, one of the most interesting in the entire Mediterranean, and the excavation area squeeze in here. Leaving the citadel, walk down the steps that open in front of the cathedral to the port of Marina Corta, in Piazza Ugo San Onofrio. Full of sun and people, it is the town's living room. Aeolian Islands, what to see in Salina. The island of Salina has 3 major towns: Malfa, Santa Marina, Salina, and Leni, all worth visiting. But before discovering the different localities, one cannot fail to make a trip to the beach, where it is possible to lie in the sun at coves with pebbles and rocks protruding into the crystal clear water. In Malfa you can visit Palazzo Marchetti, a beautiful early 20th century villa that hosts cultural events. Behind it is the Museo della Migrazione Eoliana, which preserves evidence of the tragic exodus from the island in the late 19th century, when phylloxera destroyed all the vineyards. Heading up toward Malfa, from the country air, where the houses are not all white as in Panarea, but pink and faded yellow, one arrives at Palara, on the west coast, among the most evocative places in the Aeolian Islands, nestled in a volcanic crater, part of which has sunk into the waves. From the beach, which is enclosed by a sheer cliff face, along a flight of steps you reach La Ballate, a sort of C-square enclosed amphitheatrically by the ancient warehouses carved out of the rock and turned into fishermen's houses. Hidden here is the Casa del Postino, House of the Postman, with its faded pink facade, the location of Massimo Troisi's famous film. Opposite, the great natural arch of Persiato, with the caves where fishermen used to shelter their boats. Lush Malvasia vineyards, as far as the eye can see, announce instead on the road to Santa Marina, near the lighthouse from which it takes its name, the spectacular Capofaro Resort, owned by the Tosca d'Almerita family of winemakers. Santa Marina is fascinating for its ancient village with the small square dominated by the church, and for Via Risorgimento, pedestrian and lively in summer when the stores stay open until late in the evening. Aeolian Islands, what to see in Vulcano? A typical attraction on the island of Vulcano is climbing the crater. It is like climbing a Ferris wheel. The path you have to cross along the mountainside offers enchanting views of the archipelago. In the foreground is the Vulcanello Peninsula, in front is Lipari with Salina on the left, Filicudi in the distance, Panarea on the right, flanked by its islets, and Stromboli in the background. At Vulcanello it is possible to visit the Valley of the Monsters, which takes its name from the suggestion created by the afternoon twilight, which makes the shapes created by the rocks enigmatic. Also of note is the beach of the Asino, a cove of black sand that is intimate and quiet during the day, bright and mundane at night. Such an evocative place manages to combine a love of green mountains and a passion for the sea. This location can be reached by cab boat or by walking down a steep slope. The beach is well equipped. A lido serves as a dance platform to enjoy the moonlight amidst music and 1001 nights. Finally, there are the Vulcan hot springs. The channeling of underground energy makes the island area of Vulcano a special place, given the presence of sulfur zones in the open sea and adjacent to the island's centuries-old mud zone. Gushing out of the subsoil is invigorating mud, suitable for obtaining benefits for skin, bone diseases and respiratory disorders. Aeolian Islands, what to see in Alicudi and Filicudi. Alicudi and Filicudi are two destinations off the commercial tourist trail and are the best choice for those who want to fully appreciate the Aeolian Islands and get lost among fascinating views and paths. Both islands are characterized by steep cliffs of exceptional beauty and suitable for lovers of nature, fishing and relaxation. In Alicudi it is possible to visit the Church of San Bartolo, the inhabited area of Pianicello, Contrada Tana, Col Alicudi, Contrada Bazzina, Bazzina Beach, Porto Beach, and the Galera Rock. In Filicudi, on the other hand, it is recommended to visit the marina, the rock wall, La Sciara, formed by lava during the eruptions of Monte della Felsi, the Bu Marino Cave, the prehistoric village, Capo Graziano, the abandoned village, Zucco Grande, Percarini Mare with the Solarium Lidolina establishment, the Testa di Cavallo Rock, the Lacana Stacks and the islet of Montanassari. Aeolian Islands, what to see in Panarea and Stromboli. Panarea and Stromboli are the easternmost islands of the Aeolian archipelago. Panarea is fumaroles, gas bubbles emerging from the water and villages. The settlement is scattered with its white cottages surrounded by olive groves in the districts of Iditella, San Pietro and Drotto. At San Pietro Springs, a hot water spring used for therapeutic purposes. A visit to Cala Junco, a natural pool with crystal clear turquoise green water, once the natural harbor of Capo Milazesi, is recommended. Stromboli is dominated by its volcano, whose activity is still effusive and explosive. One can reach the top of the crater in a 3-hour walk. Lava flows have created the Sciara del Fuoco, a sight visible at night. Steep slopes furrowed by torrents of lava flowing into the sea. A promontory divides the Sciara from the village of Ginostra with its cube-shaped cottages dominating rocky precipices hemmed in by agaves, prickly pears, broom and olive groves. For this reason it can be reached only by sea. The small houses in the central area contrast with the two churches St. Bartholomew and St. Vincent Ferrari, erected by French nobles on their way to the Holy Land on pilgrimage. And finally, a kilometer away, stands the volcanic neck Strombolicchio, rocky outcrops on which caper plants sprout and seagulls nest. Aeolian Islands, what to see? A landmark for a tour of the Aeolian Islands is Lipari, the the largest island in the archipelago, and also one of the few to be covered entirely by carriage roads. One of the must-sees on the island tour is the Belvedere di Quattro Quay, an unpaved lay-by on the side of the road, suspended over the sea, from which there is a breathtaking view of the Faraglioni rocks. Another destination not to be missed is the old kaolin quarries, a magical place because of the variety of rock colors due to the presence of kaolin and sulfur. Not far away is Punta del Legno Nero, which, if the day is clear, gives an overall view of all the islands, except Vulcano. Also not to be missed is the old church of Quattro Pani. The view of Salina, Filicudi, Alicudi on the western side and Panarea and Stromboli on the other, with the rocks surrounding the place of worship and architecture is truly incomparable. The island of Salina is the greenest and the first to be protected with a nature reserve. From the Belvedere, the upper part of the village of Santa Marina, the view embraces Lipari, which stands out in front. The most beautiful and striking beach on the island is that of Panarea Bay, which lies within an ancient crater that has largely collapsed. Also here it is possible to see, from a distance, the house where the film Il Postino was shot, starring Philippe Noiret as Pablo Neruda and the unforgettable Massimo Troisi as the letter carrier. Instead, at Vulcanello, an almost round peninsula off Vulcano's northern coast, migratory birds and peculiar craters can be admired. Don't miss the Valle dei Mostri, where bizarre lava constructions resembling prehistoric creatures rise up, and Donkey Beach, one of the most beautiful on the island. In Panarea, the Bay of Cala Junco is worth a visit, with its small pebble beach and extraordinary scenery of rock walls, turquoise green sea and outcropping rocks. Filicudi and Alicudi can be fully enjoyed with a boat tour, admiring their inlets and coves. Stromboli, with its perfect cone, is the icon of a primitive and magnetic Mediterranean, dominated by the forces of nature. The volcano breathes, mutters and puffs white or black smoke, throwing shreds of incandescent lava into the atmosphere. Tourists can climb up to 290 meters, 400 if accompanied by tour guides. Aeolian Islands, what to do? Lipari celebrates San Bartolo dei Pescatori on February 13th. The banner is the focus of a public auction among fishermen's families, followed by a procession in traditional religious costumes and finale with fireworks. After that of the fishermen, it is the turn of St. Bartolus of the farmers, March 5th, with again a procession in traditional costumes and fireworks. The Carnival Parade of Floats and Masks. The Aeolian Carnival Parade of Floats and Masks is held between February and March, and for Good Friday, the Easter procession. At dusk, a procession of people dressed in black, lit by candle flames and in absolute silence, parades through the streets of the center. The morning melts away on Sunday, when two processions, one with the statue of Christ and the other with the Madonna, meet on the festive Marina Corta Square. The procession of boats. On the second Sunday in July it is the turn of Maria Santissima di Porto Salvo. The picturesque procession of boats starts from the small quay and the bay of Marina Lunga and winds its way through the sea in front of the bay. On July 23rd, however, on the island of Salina, in the hamlet of Leni, the simulacrum of the Madonna is carried in procession along the streets of the village, while the sanctuary square is enlivened by lights and stalls. Centro Studi Eoliani's Review. Also in July, the Centro Studi Eoliani organizes a film festival in Lipari in the Castle Theatre, while Filicudi Tra Midi e Legend takes place in September on the island of the same name. A procession of festively decorated boats makes its way to the Bu Marino Cave, where, on the seabed, a sculpture depicting Aeolus is deposited. A packed program of singing, dancing and fireworks acts as a corollary. Lipari's patron saint, on the other hand, is celebrated from August 21st to 24. During the feast of St. Bartholomew, a procession with the statue of the saint and the Vasaluzzo, with which the patron is said to have saved the island's inhabitants from famine, leaves the cathedral. The celebration continues throughout the day until the triumphant final fireworks. Aeolian Islands, where to sleep? We recommend sleeping in Lipari, the main island of the Aeolian Islands, where you can find more choice. Punta Salistro B&B, a 19th-century Mediterranean-style villa, where everything is blue and white. A quiet garden where you can enjoy a rich breakfast, and attention to detail. Prices from €180. Hotel La Zagara, a property with a terrace overlooking the sea, near Canneto Beach and 3 kilometers from the center of Lipari. Prices from €80. Hotel Residence La Valletta. If you prefer an apartment, for more privacy and tranquility, we recommend this residence with swimming pool in a panoramic position. Prices from €100. Aeolian Islands, what to eat? It may be because of the products of a land with a very special climate and a rich and clean sea that provides the freshest raw materials. It may be because of the skill of the cooks, but in Salina the Aeolian cuisine, one of the finest among those of the small Sicilian islands, reaches sublime levels. The skillful use of aromatic herbs, typical of the Mediterranean maqui, gives heady fragrances to every dish. Try among the appetizers the caper salad, made with capers, mint, oil, vinegar, vin cotto and raisins. Among the first courses, not to be missed are macaroni incasciati, with tomato, eggplant, basil, and cheese, and spaghetti alla solana, with capers, tuna, pine nuts, raisins, tomato and basil. For a hearty lunchtime snack, the traditional pane cunzato with oil, tomatoes, olives, capers, ricotta cheese, and sometimes tuna. A Panarea specialty, however, is pasta and bean soup with seafood. In Alicudi, you cannot miss the fish dishes, which offer the most mouth-watering variations. The traditional menu offers pulpatetti and tanu, stewed octopus, and grouper alla madalata, with almonds, garlic and white wine. The traditional dishes, the mullet with mint sauce and the stocco, salt cod, fish salad are excellent. One of the most original recipes, however, is ginnata I coxi, a traditional dish that is prepared with coxi, or sea stones. These, coxi, covered with a layer of seaweed, are boiled for a long time in water along with cherry tomatoes, salt and sautéed onion. It is eaten, like a bruschetta, by dipping pieces of pani cagliatu, toasted bread croutons. The caper and cucunci. But the most famous Aeolian product is the caper, which is the bud of the plant of the same name. Also called the Aeolian orchid, the name comes from the Arabic kabir. It is harvested by hand from June to September. The caper fruit, on the other hand, is an oval berry called cucunsiu in dialect, which, harvested very unripe, is preserved in vinegar. The other typical product is malvasia, the fortified wine introduced by the Greeks in the 4th century BC and which Guy de Maupassant called the wine of volcanoes. Thanks for having been with us in this wonderful journey through the Aeolian Islands. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be waiting for you in the next amazing video about the enchanting Italy. See you soon.